To town. Watch yourself. Those things never stay gone for long. The time flow fast forwards whatever it touches, but it can't wash everything away. The past just won't let go. I'll see you around. Sam Porter Bridges.
Sam, what's your status? Chiralium density is still increasing.
My status is fucked. There's tons of them.
Can you sit out the rain?
No. They're closing in on my position. I have to move before they realize I'm in here.
Sam, if one of those things eats you, it'll trigger a void out. You'll come back, sure, but the surrounding area will still be a crater.
I got an idea.
Keeps the time fall away.
You're too late. You still don't know who I am, do you?
Who are you?
here, but I can't reach them over radio. Their comms must be down. What's your status?
Already here.
Yuri? I thought you said it was secure.
It was. Let's go. Maybe it's not as bad as it looks.
Love the optimism. But in my experience, when it looks bad, it's usually worse. Look out! Yuri!
I'm slipping!
Hold on! You okay?
Yeah.
Welcome to the party! Just in time for the fireworks! Looks like we made parole, boys!
Electro? Why is he letting everyone out?
I'll head for the main control center and see how bad the situation is.
Got it. I'll go join the party. Everyone just quietly go back into your cells and lock the door behind you. Okay? Please?
Fighter! Hey! Get him down here!
Like fish in a barrel.
Catastrophic event detected.
That doesn't sound good. Oh, hi, Rhino.
Hope you like surprise, Spider!
Surprise? What is he talking about?
Hey, what's your status?
Me? Just trapped in a prison with every criminal I've put away in the last 8 years. No biggie.
Electro must be working for someone.
This is too good to be true.
Scorpion, can you hold on a minute? I was in the middle of a phone call and it was business.
Charge him! Don't let up!
Lost you for a second there. You okay?
Not really. Electro, Rhino, and now Scorpion are all on the loose. What's going on in the rest of the prison?
Camera system's almost up. I'll give you a sit rep soon.
Okay, I'll keep tracking Electro.
Come on, Spider-Man! I thought this was a chase!
Gotta stop this guy. If you tell me who you're working for, I'll go easy on you.
Can't stop it! But I'm flattered that you still try!
Nobody ever takes me up on that offer.
Long time no see! We're going to have so much fun!
Sorry, no time to talk.
Okay, I got the security cameras back online.
How's it look?
Well, it looks like the entire population of the raft has escaped. That makes 5 of your worst enemies that are now on the loose.
For a second there, I thought you were serious.
I am serious. I have to go. Some of them are heading into the city.
This is nuts.
Keep chasing! Party's almost over! How do you like my new suit?
Dashing. Where'd you get it?
It's an exclusive club.
Remember, he said not to kill him.
Good idea. In fact, we don't have to do this at all if you don't want to.
We definitely want to.
Ellie. I think they should be terrified of you.
You do not hesitate.
That was the PlayStation E3 showcase. A lot to take in. There was a ton of great Worldwide Studios titles. We actually got a little more to share here coming right up. We're going to have first live gameplay of Marvel's Spider-Man right here, just a couple of minutes. We have a new game to announce. We have some other stuff to talk about, too. What a show.
Oh, my gosh.
Top highlights, go.
Oh,
There's no time.
Oh my goodness, Ghost of Tsushima looked absolutely incredible. That color palette was insane.
Yeah.
Did you grow up with samurai movies?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Ready.
It's just the embodiment.
I'm ready. Sucker punch.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Meredith.
Oh, Resident Evil 2. Come on,
Yeah.
RE2. That looked so good. I know a lot of us fans have been waiting for that one. And there was like a moment where you're like, I'm not really sure I know what this is. And then as soon as he turned his head, I was like, yes.
And you get that that
so good.
RE4 style over-the-shoulder camera action. It's kind of like the ultimate dream if they were going to remake Resident Evil 2. That's what I would want. So awesome stuff.
Yeah.
Ryan?
Nice and gory.
Yeah.
As Meredith said backstage, Death Stranding. We now have more questions.
Yes.
More questions.
More questions.
It looks as if, I mean, I don't want to make any promises, but it looks as if we were getting kind of an allusion to a lot of gameplay in there, and kind of what the character of Sam is going to be doing in this very unusual world that is inhabited by some very unusual and scary things.
And people consume strange and unusual.
Well, bugs.
That was...
Babies continue to be a theme.
Yeah, it wasn't a myth.
Don't know what we're going to find out there, but yeah.
So a ton of great stuff in the show overall. I mean, Nioh 2, that was a crowd pleaser. That was one that was great to see get out there. We got an update on Kingdom Hearts 3. We got a lot of other great stuff. We had a new Remedy game. Remedy's on the way. Control. Really stylish trailer. Really looking to I want to learn more about that one. I mean, it just looks like wizards and I don't know what I was looking at. But it was really stylish. I would expect no less from Remedy. But I got to say, I think my favorite was Marvel Spider-Man.
Spider-Man
that was incredible. We have these legendary villains are back. We had Rhino, Electro, Vulture. I'm missing some. Who else were there? I mean, just one after another. Electro.
So
Spider-Man was not in a good space.
No, it was pretty rough. It was pretty rough. So we're going to see live gameplay of that in just a minute or two here. But I say we actually take this moment to announce a new game. What do you think?
Do it.
Okay, do it.
So nonchalant.
Hits keep coming.
Yeah.
So you guys know From Software.
Absolutely.
I'm aware of them.
They have created a lot of great games over the year. Well, they have been busy working on a PlayStation VR game.
Oh, VR.
And it is quite a departure from the kinds of games that we sort of know them for, but it's very, very interesting, and I'd like to see the first footage of that right now.
Aren't you excited? You're going to be a fairy. And live in the world where time stands still. Where nobody can see what you're up to ever again.
Okay, Decine, that's From Software's new title coming to PlayStation VR. Quite a departure, very artistic. Still don't know a ton about how it actually plays yet, but certainly a compelling debut, I would say. And speaking of compelling, let's get to that Spider-Man. It is time.
We have some folks from Insomniac
We sure
here.
do.
Brian, Adam, gentlemen,
hey,
welcome
how
to
you
the
guys doing?
program. It's so great to have you here. I just have to say, first of all, thank you guys for giving us your time.
Of course. Yeah, of course. Happy to be here.
And also, congratulations, kind of closing out some of the show there with Marvel Spider-Man. How does it feel?
It's surreal. We've been working on it for a while, so it's nice to be here. And obviously, we showed you. People wanted villains, so we decided we'll give you a lot of villains. And now, and the next question is, can we play the open world? And Adam's gonna show off the New York City.
I mean, I don't know, Sid. What do you think?
Let's dive in.
Yeah.
What are we talking about here? Get in there.
We're going to boot up the demo here, and this is essentially one of the first playable demos that you guys are going to be showing off.
Yeah,
of Spider-Man.
Pretty much. So, I mean, if you think about,
Go ahead, Adam.
Yes, the game is. You know, a lot of people were like, last year's E3 was like, well, was that like just a linear level? No, like that was our Manhattan, that's our New York City, and it didn't have to be done like a main story mission. But in between, like something like you saw on the raft, or we showed that back at last E3, you can just swing around New York City and have fun.
Let's go to that footage because we have it running here on the main monitor. We'll go to it in just a second. This is the beauty of the live environment.
Yeah,
this is great. I got my own little TV. This is perfect.
Yeah, I got it all.
Adam's doing a fantastic job so far. It's been really good.
So first of all, you're actually playing this right now.
Yeah. That's right.
And I do want to emphasize how beautiful this game is.
Oh, thank you.
But yeah, Brian, tell me a little bit about what you guys want to show us this evening.
So I mean, the big thing is, again, you know, I think that part of the Spider-Man fantasy is to swing around New York City and, you know, to have, you know, not only just a great story, but have a bunch of different activities in that world. And we wanted to, you know, give people who attend E3 an opportunity to experience that. So, you know, obviously it's a big narrative-driven experience, but at the same time, part of that superhero fantasy, especially that Spider-Man experience, is living within New York City and seeing that. So, you know, Adam is he's one of our combat pro players because he's a combat designer, and again, he's just showing off some really awesome stuff that as you get better with the game, obviously, you know, we wanted to have a pick up and play feel, but at the same time, have a level of mastery and to really show off the improvisation that we've really been talking about a lot since we announced the game.
I'm digging this, like sticking dudes to walls and to the floor and stuff. That looks really satisfying.
I mean, I think the thing that's been really fun in these last, you know, I would say last 6 months since we got back from the holiday break was every week I feel like I'll take the game home or I'll be playing one night and then I'll come in and say, wow, guys, I didn't know you could do that. So I think there's a lot of that, there's that sandbox nature to it as well. So, I mean, obviously you can, you know, we have, you know, we're going to teach you mechanics, but we want you to experiment with, you know, his acrobatics, his webs, his gadgets, his suit powers. So combining all that stuff really allows for a lot of different gameplay and a lot of, you know, Spider-Man's a very expressive character. We want players to be able to express that, whether it's in traversal or in combat.
It's gorgeous.
These animations, these animations are just blowing my mind.
Your studio has kind of been renowned for character animation and for, you know, just fluid motion. I mean, did you guys take a lot of lessons from your previous games and really like hone in on those when you were developing?
I mean, I think animation's definitely been one of the hallmarks of our company. You know, from Spyro to Ratchet to Sunset Overdrive.
Yep.
And I mean, you know, I remember when the Sunset Overdrive reviews came out, one person actually wrote, it would be great to see Insomniac make a Spider-Man game. And I was like, see, we should make it.
See?
And
I think you waved your phone around to the whole studio.
Exactly. We took that kind of mentality and we just injected our personality, but also, you know, what do people want, desire from a Spider-Man experience. So, you know, it was really great as I remember probably around the end of the year, end of last year, someone wrote an article about the top things they want to see in Spider-Man. And they said they want to feel like an Insomniac game. So I think that's the thing we've been really layering on in this last year is to have that, it feels like an Insomniac game as much as it does a Spider-Man game.
And I love this traversal, I mean, just the fluidity of just moving over great distances very quickly. It looks like a lot of fun just moving around, and that's when you know you've got a great game.
Okay, so so you know how I kind of said like experimenting, but like sometimes, you know, I mean, game development, you know, we're in meetings a lot, and then sometimes you just need to like take a break. And what I used to find myself doing was just swinging around New York City. It was almost like therapeutic. It's just kind of like when I play other games, I just walking or running or even taking a car. It feels so more natural now just to swing around like Spider-Man. So it's definitely one of those things that has that, again, just like combat, that pick and play feel, but we want players to have a level of mastery as they play and get
What
better.
was that? Hold on a second. Okay. Very interesting what you're saying there.
So like I said, so Adam showed off, I think he showed off the tripwire, or it's basically a gadget that you can either attach to a piece of geometry and the enemies walk by, they'll get like grabbed and sucked back, but you can also attach it to an enemy, and if an enemy walks by, they kind of slam into each other.
That is amazing. This is so cool. What's this focus meter about?
Yeah, so the focus meter is basically, there's kind of a risk reward. As you build focus, you can use it to heal.
Sid's having a religious
experience. It just looks incredible.
Okay, thank you. The team works really, really hard on it. Really, really hard.
Clearly.
And the idea is the focus is kind of a way to, it's a risk reward. Like I said, you can either heal yourself or you can kind of, if you fill up the bar a certain way, you can actually pull off a finishing move. So, you know, as you play the game, you can kind of say, well, do I want to maybe heal myself real quick, or do I want to wait for that really extravagant move to kind of take the guy out instantly?
Got it.
Brian, a question for you is, obviously Spidey has, with his experience being under the mask for so many years now,
Yep, 8 years.
Story, 8 years. Thank you. You got to be precise.
I got it. One of the first questions I get is like, is it an origin story? I'm like, no. That was after we decided that the webs were definitely attached to the buildings, we decided it's not going to be an origin story.
But you know, back to the combat. I mean, Spidey's experience. He has access to a lot of different techniques and technologies. How do you balance out his experience with the fact that you don't want to overwhelm a player with options, right? You want to make it approachable.
You know, I really that comes down to our combat team, our traversal team,
like this guy right here,
like Adam, and really going, okay, you know, kind of handing that stuff out over the course of the game. You know, finding those right spots where you kind of, okay, we're going to teach you how to punch and how to kick and how to punch guys up in the air and use your webs. But then we layer on things like gadgets and then the suits and the suit powers. And it's kind of giving over time. If we just, you know, one thing with something like E3, you know, we want you to feel great, right? But there's a lot to learn really quickly. So just, you know, normal course development, we kind of find those spots in the game where it makes most sense to teach those mechanics. And then as the game goes on, we want you to master those because the game's only going to get harder.
Yeah, absolutely. Sid, what do you think?
I gotta say, this game is
Beautiful,
looking
right?
absolutely gorgeous. This is, I mean, this is just, I mean, it was looking spectacular to begin with, but this is on a totally different level. And I can just
we're
see
seeing
that
so much.
I can see that polish, though. That's the thing, and that's what comes out in that final few months of development.
Yeah, I mean, if you guys watched the press conference, right?
Sure.
You saw all those games, those first-party games, and they all have a level of polish. And to be in a press conference with the likes of a Naughty Dog, a Sucker Punch, Kojima Productions, just we are very honored to be, and we know there's a certain level of polish that people expect from a PlayStation game, especially a first-party game. So we want to be considered right up there.
Well,
and not to mention also from the Marvel, Marvel fans
course.
expect to have that perfect experience.
Of course.
May I just ask real quickly, as we're starting to wind down here, from a personal perspective, I mean, what's it like for you and for the team to be able to kind of look up at the big screen and see your game after all that time and all that work?
I'm known as a crier, so it takes a lot for me not to get choked up. Like right now, they're playing the theme song to the game in the background as we're sitting here, I mean, this is an amazing industry, and to be part of it is one thing, but to work on something you truly love is something that when you were a little kid thinking, oh my God, could I ever work on a Spider-Man game, let alone be in video games, is just absolutely surreal. I use that word a lot when I describe working on this game, and to work with a group like Sony and work with Marvel, and that feeling is felt by so many Insomniacs, so we couldn't be prouder, and the support we've gotten across the board, not only from Sony and Marvel, but also the fans, has been spectacular.
Nice work with
Brian, it just looks incredible. I mean, there's no other word for it, and
you're flabbergasted.
I really am. It's stunning. I mean, just look at that. How can you not be blown away by that? But we do have a limited amount of time here, Brian. You're an industry veteran. You've been in the industry for a long time. Yeah. I know this is a lifelong dream for you working on this game. And I want to thank you and Insomniac for making it.
Thank you for having us.
And for coming by as well.
Spider-Man was so awesome that it broke my mic, and I have to use the stick mic now.
I thought you just wanted to look different from all of us.
Yeah, I just wanted to stand out a little bit.
Yeah.
But Sid, actually, I think a little earlier, we were able to maybe get some footage of some of the amazing experiential stuff that's going on with Spider-Man. Right?
I mean, there really is something incredible going on here at this PlayStation E3 showcase. I mean, it's on a scale and a scope that we have just never seen before. And so we have people here, they're playing the game. We have a lot of hands-on sessions for folks that are here for the showcase. And the game looks great, but I just love the way this whole, I know her.
Oh, hi. There's familiar faces popping up on the stream.
But I mean, it's a great event here. And it's just, I wish we could get everybody in here to try this out and to just see what has been sort of constructed. With Spider-Man and with actually another game we're about to talk about.
Yeah, we're about to talk about Ghost of Tsushima.
Why don't you? Yeah, Ghost of Tsushima. Yeah,
we have some. We sneakily snuck on a few amazing people onto our program as a helicopter goes by to mark this amazing moment. Nate Fox and Jason Connell to my left and Nate Fox. Gentlemen, welcome. Thank you so much for coming over.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for having us.
Yeah. It's really good for you to be here, and I'm so glad you're able to give us some of your time. Yeah. Can I just ask, kind of what we were just talking about with the team from Insomniac, what's it like for you as individuals and as developers to be able to kind of be a part of all of this?
It's amazing. I mean, you try so hard to make a video game that you can get lost in, and then to come to E3 where they actually build your game. It's kind of a dream come true that way.
Yeah. How about you?
Oh man, it's amazing. People are excited. You see all the other projects, and everybody's just stoked about all the different games that are up there, and we put a lot of heart and soul into it. So it's just that moment where it shows it is just great. So
I think we should show it because we have some of the footage.
I think we do have a little bit of footage hanging around here, so let's check it out. If
absolutely. Just hanging around.
It's just doing its thing.
Yeah.
But I mean, this game, first of all, just gorgeous. I mean, the art direction is really coming through in an incredible way, but also the technical sophistication as well. I mean, we're going to see here in a minute. Here we go. There we go. Get into some combat.
Yeah, we have some highlights from the showcase just showing off for the first time.
Look at this. Look at this look. I mean, this is gorgeous.
Look at this look.
I don't know what else to say about it. I'm flabbergasted.
And maybe, I don't know, Nate or Jason who wants to take this, but it seems like in these moments of gameplay, there's small vignettes of like a classic samurai film in which you really focus in the player experience, the visuals, the music, all the cues seem to align in harmony. I mean, that must all be very intentional, I can only assume.
It is an orchestra. You know, like you got to take all these elements, and for even that opening attack, that EI attack, it's about building space before it, having the leads go by, the drum up of music beforehand, and that's what makes it really powerful.
How do you coordinate all those systems? Like
we run in strike teams. We got a lot of multidisciplinary, awesome people working on it. So
yeah, but I mean, you watch a lot of samurai movies, man. I mean,
that's the real answer, actually.
Yeah. I mean, there's that quiet before the storm. It's pretty key to the genre. So just trying to make it real in a video game is our goal.
And I know that authenticity is something that's tremendously important to your entire studio in this game. Do you want to share a little bit about some of the steps, the great steps that your team went through creating that?
Yeah, I feel like we're in a super unique position because we're part of Sony. We have J Studio. We have somebody that would be a producer on our project from J Studio. We hired some cultural guides. Like I feel like we're in this unique position to help us create this thing. Oh, the Joji screen, that one's a popular one.
This knocked me off.
Sorry to interrupt.
No, that's interrupt worthy right there.
Okay, so can we talk a little bit maybe about how you're approaching the sword play? I think that's a really interesting concept here. Like, you don't have to get too far into it. I know the game's still deep in development, but tell us a little bit about that.
Well, we're going for lethal precision, where there's not a lot of wasted energy. These are very trained experts, and so every strike, could end a life. So you want to make sure that each one counts. I mean, right now we're allowing these characters to kind of circle each other and talk to each other because it's not just kind of a furball, right? It's studying kendo. We've brought in experts to kind of show us how to do it.
And it shows.
It looks like maybe your team spent 400 years making this one scene. I mean, that's the thing that I would like our audience to remember is that every leaf, every flicker of flame has to be hand-placed by someone at some point in time, unless you had a giant machine AI do it all by itself.
Maybe, I don't know. We have a great team. It's, creating those beautiful the lethal combat, that was the goal. Like, having the visceral combat, that was our goal.
Yeah, I mean, it's so great to have you guys here. We do have a few more things to get to, right, Sid?
We do. Thank you so much for joining us, guys.
Thank you guys. Thank you for being a part of tonight.
Oh, yeah.
Ghost of Tsushima looking mighty impressive. And
should we look at some of that stuff?
Yeah, so there's a whole experience here built out for folks who are here at the PlayStation E3 showcase. And we're going to get a little footage out here. Oh, here we go. There we go. Look at this. So this was that period of time. I know some of these people. This is the period of time when earlier on when we had that intermission, we had to make a little bit of time for folks to walk from one part of the experience to the next. So you're seeing shots of that right now. Very just special, intimate, and beautiful experience
gorgeous.
For folks to walk through there. Again, I wish we could just open the doors for 10 million people to come in here and just kind of get this all up close and personal.
10 million people might be a little more than than this venue can handle.
That's right. The fire marshal may have an issue or two with that, but it really is something else. And hopefully these clips here give you a little bit of a taste of what was in store here tonight at the PlayStation E3 Showcase.
And Sid, we sneakily got a few more folks in here to join us for the program. Again, I know, and specifically to talk about those little interstitials that we were seeing during our showcase. And it's my great pleasure to introduce the Media Molecule.
Hi.
Matching outfits.
Matching. We're matchy.
Welcome to the program.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It is our great pleasure. I want to point out, and correct me if I'm wrong, the little interstitials we were seeing were all created inside Dreams.
That's right. So we had no idea what they were going to be shown with the games. So Resident Evil, and then we get to do a little trumpet.
A little celeries, and then it's Death Stranding.
No greater wine pairing than the Resident Evil and the fart trumpet.
There we go.
Truly.
I mean, and we had the final word, right? The orange drummer.
Yeah.
We need to give these guys names. If any of your viewers want to name our fruit, that would be awesome.
That'd be great. But yeah, it was really fun because the thing about Dreams is it's really fast to create these little sort of stories and games. And so when we got the opportunity to do something fun for the press conference, it just felt like such a good, to do something musical and sort of something that kind of showed off the playful nature.
We're teasing something with that, actually.
We are teasing something. We are. There's a tease
there's method in the madness.
There is
a nice palate cleanser in between each of those, and it kind of kept everybody on their toes. But I actually want to zero in a little bit more on the create mode that you guys are working on. And this is something that is, quite frankly, it's absolutely astonishing
Okay, so I mean,
innovative here.
I mean, we're showing this at E3. It's so exciting for us. We're demoing it on the show floor. We've got press hands-on. So I think Dreams, you can create anything. Literally, people ask me, like, can we make games? Can we make movies? And the answer is always yes. And in fact, tonight we're going to be doing a live music show
and
made in Dreams and puppet show.
Yeah. Okay, I was about to say, are you going to play music live?
We're going to play it tonight, and hopefully we'll find a way to get it out onto the internet.
We're debuting our new band, The Molecules.
Yeah.
Wait, really?
Yeah, and they are literally
perfect.
They will be using the Create tools that you're watching right now to perform a 15-minute live gig. I don't think anyone knows about this. Even the people out there in the garden haven't realized yet.
We're spoiling it for the folks at home.
Yeah, man, it's going to be big.
And I just want to point out is the footage that the folks at home are seeing right now.
Yeah.
The seamless nature of the kind of create and the play, functionality of Dreams it cannot be overstated.
Yeah, I mean, it's super easy. Even if you don't think that you're a game creator, even if you've never thought about game designing, if you've played games, you can do this. If you can play a platform game, if you can play our story, then you can do this. You can create your own, you can upload, and then you can share incredible levels in like 10 minutes. We're doing a demo this week at E3 where we create gameplay for a whole level in like 20 minutes, including music. You can compose your own music.
Awesome.
You can do the gameplay. You can animate. You can record voiceovers. The whole thing on a PlayStation.
And just to clarify, sorry to interrupt, is this two people both playing at once?
Yeah, it's co-op, so we're showing co-op gameplay.
Multiple controllers, you can jam together, and it's quite funny because one of you can be testing and then another one can be getting the jump height right or whatever it is.
It's amazing.
Yeah, it's cool.
I just love Dreams, and I literally haven't even touched it yet.
Yeah, well, come over.
Yeah,
thank you so much.
But the idea really has been like what you're seeing is really this easy nature of just like picking and placing, because I think one of the things that sometimes people get a bit scared of like the idea of the blank canvas, but actually what I love about Dreams is it's just this idea of just choice. Like every day people make choices. You put your clothes on, you might choose where you put a poster in your bedroom, and Dreams is very like that. All you're really doing is like they're seeing like this sort of Instagram effect. You can take a scene and be able to very quickly change it so that it looks really different, and you're adding your own mark.
And then the pièce de résistance is that all of this stuff which gets made gets uploaded, and if you just want to sit back on your sofa and enjoy an unending stream of madness of the PlayStation 4 players' creations, you can, and we sort of present it to you in a stream of who knows what it's going to be like. I mean, that's what's so exciting. The beta is coming this year, so we will be starting to see what the creativity of PlayStation gamers really means for Dreams.
That's excellent. So beta coming this year for Dreams.
That's right.
And I've said this before, I'll say it again about Dreams. In my maybe 20 years of being in the industry, I've never seen anything so
thank you.
Just innovative and progressive and just potentially just game changing. So
thank you.
Hats off to you. I mean, this must have been an absolute labor of love.
It
really is. Yeah,
the Molecules gone mad.
It is. Yeah, big cheers to the team. We've gone mad. Big cheers to the team back home, because people have really put their hearts and souls into Dreams to really get it to the point where you are moving between these different disciplines. And right now we have a studio that jams together in a way they've never jammed together before. We have like musicians actually just jamming with animators to actually make animation. And I think that's one of the things we're really starting to see is these different workflows. And that just, that's been one of the things we've really wanted to get that right. So I can't wait to see like people create all different types of genres of games and really almost like just come up with completely new ways of playing. I think
we're showing some of that E3. Liam made a text adventure, and we're like, what? You can do a text? I didn't even know you could do that.
Wow.
I mean, that's like
that's amazing.
I know,
I mean, we saw what the community did with Little Big Planet.
Right.
And now imagine if you just like by a Googleplex multiplied the functionality.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like raise it to the millionth power.
Specifically
it's unbelievable, and I want to thank both of you for coming by. And congratulations!
Thank you very much for having us.
The showcase.
Thank you so much.
And I can't wait to see more of this.
Stay tuned for more on the gig later on.
All right,
thank you guys.
We're hearing more.
And Sid, I think we had a couple of VR games.
We did.
Taking a look at those earlier this.
We did.
Evening.
We had Trover Saves the Universe, which was announced during the showcase, and we had some great stuff. Tetris Effect earlier in the week as part of Countdown to E3, and a lot of other great stuff too. So let's take a look at the latest from PlayStation VR.
Keep your status. Odds on
already panicked. I've never seen anything like him before.
Welcome to the Vanguard. Try not to die.
It's gotta be a way, or there'll be hell to pay. But I ain't backing down. You say you'll crush my will, but you can come and kill. And I ain't backing down. You're looking at original. I'm never gonna fit your mold. I guess it's always me and them.
If you're going to block out the sun, the least you could do is fetch me some coolant.
Now it's just a taste of what is coming to PlayStation VR, and I want to point out really quickly, Creed Rise to Power, boxing game using 2 moves on VR. One of the most intoxicating experiences I've had in VR.
Man.
It
Okay.
almost felt like boxing is like the perfect fit for the VR medium, because you got the leaning, you can dodge.
Oh gosh.
I'm gonna
He's
tip
going all over
over
the
here.
place. Oh my God. I was in danger for a second. I have to give a quick shout out to Bathtub Guy. I mean,
That was the best.
let's just put one out there for Bathtub Guy.
That's awesome.
I hope that 711 gets him really quickly.
711.
Oh, Squanch.
Yeah.
And also remember, earlier in the week, Ben Studio gave us another look at Days Gone and their release date.
They did.
February
22nd. Outstanding. Very good stuff. So let's talk a little bit about the venue we've got here. It takes an army practically to create the kind of experience that we had here tonight for members of the press and community. So I want to talk a little bit about that. And well, actually, rather than talk about it, let's just show it. We have a great video that shows how it was all put together. Just a really cool look.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to E3 on Twitch 2018. That was the Sony press conference, and just even a little bit more. We saw a few extra things there at the very end. Wow. I tweeted 90 minutes before the conference, ladies and gentlemen, in 90 minutes, the church is open, mass is in session.
How do you even say that word?
What?
PSologist?
What? PSology.
It's PSology.
PSology. So yes, I am a PSologist.
Like psychologist.
What?
The PS is pronounced like an S.
Not like sologist, no.
I thought it was sologist, yeah.
No. And then they were in a church, and it was like, and I think, I mean, the general sense and feeling of the room was like, what is Sony doing, right? We were all kind of like, this is not fantastical, this is a little, but then they're like, this is why, and then they go right into The Last of Us 2, in which they had recreated the setting from the game. Last of Us 2, you guys?
Well, they started off by saying, like, we're going to look at some old things. Like, it totally threw me off track. Like, the announcer, I don't remember his name. What's his name?
He did.
Yeah,
Yeah, Sean, yeah.
But yeah, and then they went into The Last of Us. Of course, we knew we were going to see that. And wow. It is still the game I'm going to look forward to most, like of any game that I've seen in the last 2 years.
A phenomenal way to show the game off. Certainly brutal. Showcases that world. Yeah, and I looked away like 10 times.
Guts and entrails.
The juxtaposition is what ruined it for me, because you fall in love with her, and then you see her have to experience this violence.
It's also like the graphics and the movement and everything is so real at this point. I'm buying it so hard that usually I have my immersion is like I'm immersed, but I understand where I am in fantasy. Whereas this, I'm like so immersed that when someone's guts come pouring out and she's like crying while she's stabbing somebody, I'm just a little too deep.
But that's what the first game did so well, and I think that's why everyone is going to be like, this is the sequel that everyone wants, right?
All of us, I don't think any other press conference, any other game, we have spent so much time doing the...
We all shut up.
Our mouths hanging open, and not just Last of Us either. So many of these games, the tech behind them, the art behind them. Amazing.
Yes, I mean, certainly talking about mouths agape, when they talked about the Call of Duty Black Ops maps being converted back to Call of Duty 4 and 3, Zeke literally jumped from his chair, did a few laps, and was very excited about that. So that was
I
another.
missed most of the announcement due
Another
to my
moment.
excitement.
I'm just kidding. A few people, I think, are saying about that. But they did say that Black Ops 3 was going to be given away tonight on PlayStation Plus, so I guess that's a plus for PlayStation fans. I'm going to go through the list if it's okay, because certainly I wish I had the cards, but you know, the quality of PlayStation's press conference I thought was top notch, but in terms of quantity, right? Like, I mean, Microsoft sort of came to the table with a lot of stuff. Some of it was kind of rapid fire shown. But I'm going to go through some of these because I think we have the time too. Tetris Effect, which released a beautiful trailer earlier this week. It was only touched on, as well as Days Gone, because that was kind of previewed beforehand. We know that November 22nd is the release date for that. Twin Mirror, I had seen nothing about, so that was brand new to me. And either I missed it in the E3 flurry, or did anyone else see it before?
30 seconds of a look at it, and I'm pretty intrigued.
I don't know that I could tell you anything other than the name Twin Mirror at this point. So, Ghost Giant, which was shown briefly, a cute little game. They showed Destiny 2, and then they dropped the second bomb, which is the Ghosts of Tsushima.
Oh my God, that was possibly the most gorgeous game that I've ever seen. Like the lighting, the leaves, the everything. Yeah, go
We
ahead.
kept pointing out details that you would never think would be so important, but as a gamer, like, you're so used to seeing those things done poorly that when you see them done so well, it blows your mind. Like, we were like, look at the horse's tail. Look at the way the leaves move when they walk. Look at the way, you know, the shadows of the moving trees are moving over the rocks. It was so gorgeous.
And I noticed such a minimal UI. Like almost no
Nothing,
UI,
right?
except for like this part where he
Like
jumps
a flash.
down and
it's environmental UI in a way, right?
I'm wondering how like it's just gonna be based on like doing the moves over and over again and figuring out and looking for like signs of other people like to block or to dodge or to whatever, but there's nothing on the screen.
Right.
Right.
It was interesting, they were saying too afterwards that they have looked at this fighting style as a skilled expert kind of fighting style. You're never wasting any effort, which I think is really interesting, which probably means there's very little hack and slash. It's probably
Very
a lot
little,
more like,
yes.
which I think is really cool.
I mean, I think very old school PlayStation fans will remember Bushido Blade, which was a fighting game that I think a lot of people were just confused by, right? Because it's like, here you are, 2 samurai, and then 1 strike, and the round, the game is over. So Sully on production was actually like, if they get hit more than like 5 times, you know, like this isn't it. And the first strike is just that simple, you know, precision, lethal strike is down. I think that game is going to be much more realistic in that way than certainly other hack and slasher games that have approached the same thing. I think that's great and new and fresh and kind of exciting and hopefully a little frustrating and challenging as well, because the game's gorgeous and beautiful, and I'm really curious about the narrative of it all and how that's going to play in it.
From the perspective of Twitch as well, what a game to watch.
Yeah, I
you
was
know,
gonna say.
right? I mean, I tune in and watch a beautiful film, basically, that's interactive.
Yeah,
and
this
that you can
like
engage
fight
with.
scene right there. I mean, obviously there is a deep love for samurai lore, film, influences. It's incredible.
You could stop any screen here and put it as my desktop background.
Yep.
Yeah. Right?
I just like, I loved it. I really noticed it when she pulled the sword out, and you could see when it hit the light, and then it hit the light again.
Yeah,
and
I
it
mean,
was just so amazing that just that little thing really, like, I keyed into that.
The arrows coming in, him calling out the enemies, the leaves starting on fire.
Well, once you watch the leaf fall and then it doesn't hit the ground because they kick it, they're not like some leaves are falling and then there's other leaves on the ground interacting. That's like every little piece.
Yeah. So pretty.
It really.
All of us,
it
all
really
of us
looks
are doing
great.
that again, where we're just like.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's amazing. So immediately following that, they showed another game from Remedy and 505 called Control. And you know, in terms of like wanting to play protagonists who just seem like they are capable of doing anything and are of the extreme level of badass, this game seems to take that to the next level. So Control, which has almost an Inception-like stage flipping thing, but once they get into the combat, there is things being grabbed, you know.
It's wild, Marcus.
It's wild.
It kind of defies explanation because I can't really think of what game puts all these elements together in such a mystical but fluid way.
We were saying it looks like Inception. You mentioned it looked a little bit like Inside with the sort of people floating
And the creepy parts of Life is Strange when you get towards the end of that game, how it warps reality.
Do you know, do we even know what this game is about at all?
No, that's what I was going to say, is Sony gave us so many questions. They gave us very, very few answers. They were like, here, wonder about this. And we do.
I love it. I absolutely love it. I
Do
hope,
you?
and I do. I wish more game companies would leave us with questions because the mystery is what keeps me intrigued about it, especially because of a game we'll talk about in a minute.
You know what? It's fair to say, if you take historically, looking at like how they presented God of War, and then what I played, they did a pretty damn good job of like hiding me from the narrative that let me enjoy that game, and maybe that is something that they're doing there. I mean, I'll tell you, like they showed me gameplay that interests me. They obviously there must be a story that is good behind it, but so. I don't know. I'm okay with that too. I think it's a great strategy. Resident Evil 2 remake, also a date, January 25th, 2019.
Cool trailer.
Interesting that it was cool. Shows that Resident Evil is still alive, both in the new games they're making as well as sort of a remake of the classics. And then we got that just sort of out of nowhere one with Justin Roiland and the Trover Saves the Universe.
I'm a bathtub guy.
Yeah, a bathtub guy.
I just hang out in the bathtub.
I feel like he's kind of throwing some shade at streamers a little bit.
You think so?
Watch it again. Watch the trailer again. I'm just this bathtub guy who's just sitting here, you know, playing games, but I'm not the focus. The game is the focus. And
Interesting.
yeah, go back and watch that one again. I'm sure all poking and good fun. Look, Zeke's actually going to get mad.
No, I'm not going to get mad. I'm just
Justin?
Like, if that's true, that's kind of awesome.
Yeah, go back and watch it again.
Because
maybe I'm wrong.
I can take a joke. It's
maybe
great.
I'm wrong. I don't know.
And that's in VR as well, right? That came up in the VR listing?
I think it did, actually, yeah.
So that'd be fun.
Kingdom Hearts 3, which they have somehow shown the same trailer with like different pieces changed up. This time we got to see Pirates of the Caribbean.
Which was interesting considering our conversation earlier. Remember, because we were talking about could they put any live action characters into Kingdom Hearts, and we were like, no. The aesthetic of Kingdom Hearts doesn't work for live action characters. They couldn't do that.
I don't think they proved that wrong here.
Yeah.
They've kind of done it in the past Kingdom Hearts game, because like if you think about even, you know, some of the Final Fantasy characters that were presented, a little bit different style than even say the main cast of Kingdom Hearts. Like, I don't know. The weirdest part is the fact that everything else is animated so well, and I could tell that is an animated human, you know, and like that's the part, but it's still.
Well, I really like the part where they showed the guy with the dark clothes and the white hair, and then they showed that guy with the dark clothes and the white hair, and then they showed the other guy with the dark clothes and the white hair.
Yeah.
It sounds like you need to understand.
Sephiroth had all these babies.
You need to understand that Kingdom Hearts is not about the story,
They're
okay?
like, yeah, people are like, fists right now are clenching. It looks great. We've talked about it like 5 times already. I'm sure we're going to see it. And then Death Stranding.
And it starts with a baby butt.
Right where it left off.
Yeah.
But we know why the baby's there now.
We do know a little bit more. It was like watching Lost. We got we got a few answers, and then they're like, "Bud, where'd the polar bear come from?" We know it's delivery person. We know that whatever it is actually fast forwarding time.
The only gameplay we saw though was him carrying stuff and him flashing the light at the things. Right? Those are the only 2 gameplay pieces we saw.
Well, do you count walking?
Right.
You count walking?
Yeah.
I just want to.
He's got different packages on his back every single time that he's walking.
So what? Am I literally? Is that the game? Am I carrying stuff and delivering it places? That's what I want to know.
So what we've seen, and I just threw this out here, but we've definitely seen limited characters, right? And in fact, most of this trailer, Sam, I believe his name is with no one. But at the very beginning, they're talking on comms, and I was a big fan of Firewatch. I liked the way that gameplay was to create isolation, but also not feeling alone. And I wondered if there's going to be an element of that, where maybe you're always kind of in communication with someone. But then, of course, we saw the introduction of another character. I don't know much about this character, but I don't know.
I love going through Twitter, especially when this particular game comes up. How many people are blindly going to buy this game and want it so bad right now and know almost nothing about how it actually works?
Which is cool. I mean, how rare is that?
It is rare because, I think a lot of people put their trust into Kojima, right?
Let me ask you a question. This is actually would be a good Twitter poll. Who do you think gamers trust more, Kojima or Todd?
Oh.
Todd the God.
That is a fight.
Well, you know what? Actually, this might not be the poll, but maybe we can go to Ocadrian. We'll find out what what we're going to find out from Sony, and then maybe we can do a second poll. How about that? Ocadrian, how are things going over there?
Not well.
Oh no.
Not well, Marcus. It's
Why?
Oh well, the pizza rolls.
It's well.
Oh.
Well, no. It's the last E3 check-in, powered by Totino Pizza Rolls.
Oh.
Yeah. So.
Oh. Well, we'll come back. Let's do.
No, it's fine. It's fine. It's whatever, man. We'll just do it and get over it. So, hey guys, what game from the Sony conference are you most excited for? Last of Us 2, Spiderman, Ghost of Blue Blue Blue, or Death Stranding? Also, a quick reminder that if you're a partner streamer, you can go onto the extensions dashboard and voting studio, blah, blah, blah. iPowwow. It's actually a really good app, so you should definitely.
Don't be sad, okay, dude?
I'm not sad. Shut up, man. That's sad.
Oh no!
That's sad.
Not your Waluigi Misfit shirt.
Chat also wanted me to relay a message that Pirates was in Kingdom Hearts 2. They were adamant about it. They just spammed the hell out of it.
See, I knew there was another game that they were in, but it wasn't.
Though? It looked different.
It was.
Poll's ending in like 5 seconds, so you can just
Look, I haven't played Kingdom Hearts in a long time. It's been a lot of years, okay?
Right.
Well, now you've got like 20. Wait, we didn't see the. Oh, we did see the.
Oh,
Death Stranding.
By 1% only.
Can we?
You just stole my thunder.
Yeah, wow.
It's my last one.
No.
It's my last one.
Hold on.
And you're all the winner is.
I came back to us, Ocadrian. Like, I don't know.
Did I say let's go, Marcus, back to you? No.
Can we set up the poll of who do you trust more? Todd?
One more poll.
One more poll. Okay. We'll give him a second. There were some other games after that.
Oh my
We're gonna
God.
come back for one more poll.
We'll do one more E3 check.
Yeah, I bet.
He's gone completely rogue. Is
The
anyone
poll.
gonna just?
We from the desk are requesting the poll. Who do you trust more, Kojima or Todd? You should know what Todd we're talking about.
Yeah.
But that's the Todd.
Right. You're right. Yeah. Right.
That's
Well.
What do you mean stop cringe?
Hey, let's shoot on over to Ocadrian and see if we can find out who people trust more.
Okay.
Ocadrian.
Hey, man. What's up? We doing a poll?
You're doing a poll.
Cool. What is it? You tell me.
You know, I don't know.
I got this?
Yeah.
I got this.
Wow.
Take it.
Who was Kojima or Todd? How are their votes in already? I don't understand. Like, when did we actually put it up? There's not even a question. It just says Kojima and Todd. This is so busted. It's like the end of the day. Go ahead and vote. They're all done. It doesn't matter.
But what does it mean?
Who do you guys trust more, Kojima or Todd? We'll say that I'm Kojima and like he's Todd. Oh wow, an overwhelming victory it looks like for Kojima.
Pat, is the poll officially ended? Doesn't it turn yellow when the poll
Don't tell him how to
ends?
do his job, Marcus.
I'm just observing what I've seen.
This is just gone to hell. It's all broken. All right, the winner is Kojima. And that was our last poll. I hope you guys had fun. And
Okay, Adrian, you did a great job.
Great job,
everyone.
Adrian.
Hopefully I'll see you guys in the future.
We're gonna
Well
see
done.
you tomorrow.
We killed it.
And there's your end. I got that joke a little too late.
It's
Zeke,
been
there
a
you
good
go.
day.
Kojima.
Can
I repeat what you said while we were watching this?
Sure.
Can I? I can.
What?
You know?
No,
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm gonna back you up.
Go ahead.
We all heard it. Are you sure?
You ready?
Man, I ain't scared. What are you gonna do? Threat me on Twitter?
This game is going to be a flop. Ezekiel
I
the
said
third.
I don't think I said it's going to be a flop. I didn't. No.
My!
I didn't say it definitively.
It might have been a huge flop that you said, actually.
Anna has an elephant brain, so.
I don't really think I would have said it like that. But if I did, I did. That's okay.
All right.
Hey.
Well, and then at the same time,
No, it's
he was
a
like,
lot of build-up.
This game is amazing. I'm going to play it. And it's
Of
like,
course.
I don't know.
Oh yeah. No, it's such a huge buildup for so many questions, and we don't know what's going to happen and stuff like that. And I might have said it's going to be a huge flop. I still play it. I'm loving what they're putting out so far. But
I'm with you though. That's why I'm asking the question. I'm not that I have no idea, but that's why I'm asking the questions of like, am I just walking around carrying stuff? Because like, I've played a lot of games where I
Right,
just
though.
walk around carrying stuff.
That's
Name
what we've
one
seen
game.
in gameplay
Name
so
me
far.
a game where you have delivered I
Harry
should be
Potter.
really careful. What?
That's why those games suck so bad. All you do is just go back and forth carrying stuff to
There's
people.
a Harry Potter game?
Are the items that Harry takes from one place to another represented with their own aesthetic on his back while he or she
I don't
carries?
remember.
Well,
I
that's an
stopped playing
important
it because I didn't like
detail. If
carrying
he was carrying
things around.
a body one time.
I know, but
refrigerator
listen,
another time.
The gameplay that we've seen is only walking.
There's also that bit where he got walked and then knocked over.
Look,
with the black
man,
stuff.
people still play World of Warcraft to this day. The greatest walking
I'm sure
simulator
there
that
is
has
more
ever
to the
been
game
made.
than walking that we will see soon.
Sure.
It just invites a lot of questions of what else will we be doing in the game.
Right. He did pull out a gun at the end.
He had the
And like
sticky
he
thing
pulled
too.
off
That's like
one
his
of
like
his
detector.
things, and then he
That thing was cool.
the little strobe to
Yeah.
find it. All right. It's probably not gonna be a flop. I'm excited for it. I don't know how long.
I don't
it's
think
gonna
it
be.
could possibly
I'm
fully
excited to see
flop.
my Twitter feed tonight.
I
I'm
know.
super excited to come see like, oh, there's nothing as sweet. The sweetest honey you've ever tasted will never touch the sweetness of Nerd Rage.
Yeah.
It's just,
Yeah. I think you're just jealous. Nioh 2. Oh, you.
Just,
no.
I mean, with,
Keep going.
with the hype around this game, there's no way it's going to completely flop.
No, of
you know,
course not.
like, but
No, I know.
I understand what you're saying. Is
no, if they put
we have
pre-orders
questions.
right now, it would make quadruple the money they put
What
in.
I
in
think
an
you
hour.
wanted to say, tell me if I'm wrong,
Yeah.
is that you don't want to get No Man's Sky. Because
See?
you said, I think this game might be too ambitious, or
Yep.
I worry that this game, right? So
Yep.
is that fair?
Yes.
Okay, so bring it down to
Yep.
8, the Nerd Rage, from 11 to 8 against Zeke.
And that's what
Please
I'm saying.
still tweet him, but
Flop, disappointed, that kind of stuff. Is we build shit up so very much when we really, really want something to be good. And then when it comes out and it's not as good as we want, it's just such a blow.
it hurts.
Yeah.
Let's hope that doesn't happen.
I think the only thing you can say that you're safely going to be in the zone on this game is that it's going to be a representation of Kojima. Like, uninterrupted, and so people are going to enjoy it just based on that alone. And I think that it's going to be weird, it's going to be funky, like it's going to hit a lot of the buttons that I'm hoping for. So.
And someone on Twitter actually said what I think maybe is tainting my opinion. I'm still fucking pissed about PT. That PT never came out.
I thought for a hallway it was a really good game.
I wanted it,
Sold.
and I never got the full game.
There were 2 other games. Nioh 2 was sort of teased, I would say, more. And then...
Looked really cool with the...
You're very excited. I mean, we didn't see a whole lot, but yeah, the giant comes out. And then, last but not least, we got to even see a little demo, gameplay demo at the end there, but we got to see plenty during the show. That's Spider-Man.
We saw a lot of Spider-Man.
We did. We found out it takes place 8 years sort of after he becomes Spider-Man. What?
It just reminded me of the little game they snuck in between right before the Spider-Man gameplay, where they were like, yeah, there's this other artsy-fartsy game no one cares about, and then Spider-Man.
What was that?
Dercine.
Oh, you mean in the after show? Oh, yeah.
Anyway.
Well, that was a From Software VR game.
Which I'm super into.
Yeah.
Something about becoming a fairy and a
it's like a period drama. It looks like it could be like...
We joked that it was like VR Pride and Prejudice
Which I would
or
also
VR.
be totally into.
Yeah,
So anyway, I just want to give that a little shout out because they were like, yeah. Anyway, Spider-Man.
Here's they were showing some different locations, and then there was some dialogue in the background, and then the flower.
And a kitty cat.
Intrigue, kitty cats.
You know, when I always see these games and I hear VR, I always wonder, like, what? Maybe you're just a silent observer. Maybe you're a ghost.
Reminds me of the Oculus demo in the secret shop from Dota, where you have to like solve all these like get bigger, get smaller Alice in Wonderland style puzzles. And if you're talking about being a fairy, maybe there's a little bit of that magic here.
Anyway, we don't have to spend too much time on it. I just wanted to give that shout out for the gamers like me that like those cute little artsy things. I see you and I understand you, and we'll be there together. Right? Yeah.
It looked intriguing for sure.
Thank you.
It's definitely something I want to see more of.
Dreams
was mentioned.
But
Spider-Man. Spider-Man, the original, what we saw in the show, rather, was kind of some sort of, it was like jailbreak. We know exactly why this story is going to take place, and that's cool. Give us a little taste of that. What we saw then in the after show demo was kind of just them running through and doing some different things in the world. And to be honest, that's probably more exciting for me because I don't want to get too much in the story. But what do you guys think? I mean, definitely looks like Spider-Man. Looks like it plays like Spider-Man. Incredibly smooth. It doesn't look like, with these types of games, you want to feel that speed. Every once in a while you play a game where it's like you get going fast and then you hit a wall and you do stop and you get that momentum going, and that's seems to be one of the things that I'm super excited about. Was the idea is that it looks like you can just never stop.
It was so fluid.
Yeah.
So fluid.
Well, you saw he did it for like half the demo because this is the stuff I want to see when you show me a Spider-Man game, that I can do every kind of flip, every angle. It's all there.
Yeah, you want to feel that sense of like you can never fall, basically.
And it was really cool how like when he would knock a guy off the building, he would always put the web on them and hang them.
And
this is, you know what? We got can we do this poll? All right. Spider-Man kills so many people in the trailer and in this thing, and you say no. But
Spider-Man don't kill people.
You're
but
shaking your head, Anna. But
rewatch the trailer. Every criminal that falls off is connected by a web.
Nope.
Yep. Spider-Man don't kill. Neither does Batman.
At the end of every second day of E3, when our brains have just been continually bombarded with information, these things become very important to us, and we can't let go of them. They've been fighting about whether or not Spider-Man kills people for at least 2 hours.
I'm just...
Loudly.
Don't look at me.
Can we get a poll? Did Spider-Man kill all those people? Did they get saved? We don't know.
You're on. I'm off.
You're off?
I'm asleep.
Yeah.
I punched out.
I know. Someone told me they were getting the poll ready. We could talk about something else, Anna.
We can look at 1s and 2s in the chat if you want and find out that way.
No, we should use we should definitely use the iPod.
Okay, let's use it then.
Yeah.
Let's find out.
I want to. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Chat, you ready? One more time. Does Spider-Man kill people?
No, specifically in the new Spider-Man game.
You have to raise your voice. You catch more flies and honey than vinegar. I'm right here.
Oh.
What is this, Crossfire?
What is this?
Come on, people. Come on. Oh, yep.
I like that I'll never tell.
Yep.
Is one of the selections.
I'll never tell.
Come on, yep.
Wow, this
You guys
one's
got 5
close.
seconds up to vote, so.
You guys, you go back, you watch that, trailer at half speed, and there it is. Definitely, Spider-Man doesn't know his own strength sometimes. I understand. It's acceptable. It's okay, but let's admit that it has happened.
40%
Someone got kicked off of a building. Maybe he didn't attach
There was a safety
that thread.
net.
Look, there are plenty of ways that could have
All right.
happened. There could have been a mattress delivery. There could have been
Pillow factory,
the
fighting above a pillow factory.
Yes, the giant trampoline happened to be in the middle of the road.
Nacho cheese fountain.
I thought it was important to mention in the game that this was like 8 years after he became Spider-Man. So there's no origin story. He's been Spider-Man. He put all those backpacks around the city for himself,
Okay.
webbed up to the building.
Yeah, for all we
so
know.
I think maybe after 8 years you just become real jaded.
I mean, even in 8 years, he's only like mid-20s, like 24.
Well, okay.
Oh, Kadrian's losing it over there.
What's so funny, dude? Dude.
What's happening?
Someone just typed in Spider-Man killed Gwen Stacy.
Oh.
That's
so messed up.
All right, well, according to our poll, Spider-Man, we're going to be exploring this in the new Sony
#E3
release
on
coming up.
Twitch.
It's been a long day, E3.
All right. Well, guess what?
What?
This may have been the second of 5 days of coverage, this last day of press conferences, but a lot of the things that we saw, even for just a small moment over the last 2 days, we might have on the stage tomorrow and probably will have on the stage over the next 3 days. So it doesn't stop now. Yes, the hype has been really exciting the last couple days, but now we get to dive deeper into each games. We get to actually play some of these demos, walk through them. We do still have Nintendo tomorrow as well.
Yep.
And I think people are probably like, yeah, Spider-Man is cool, but don't forget about Smash and don't forget about all the other things that Nintendo... And Smash and Pokemon and others. So tomorrow, right here on /Twitch, it continues. And again, I want to remind you and say thank you to all the co-streamers today that took this content and made it their own and shared it with their communities. I hope everyone had a great time. You can do that for the next 3 days. Those convention doors will open. Is there anything, before we go? Do we want to take a moment, say, what was the thing these last 2 days? If someone's going to bring it in first thing tomorrow at 10, what would you want to see, Anna?
Not necessarily if someone wants to bring something in, but what I'm already ready to just go home and play. Honestly, Tomb Raider has me really excited.
Okay.
I mean, Obviously Tomb Raider was going to have me excited, but I was kind of set up to be I will always play a Tomb Raider regardless. But they actually got me excited. So I'm actually I can feel my hands ready to hold the controller on Tomb Raider.
Awesome. Zeke.
Last of Us 2, man. No question. Not even close. Last of Us was the best game in the last 4 years. So, Last of Us 2, and it looks like it's heartfelt and brutal and just following in the same footsteps.
Rachel.
This has really just been a 2-day countdown to Nintendo's conference tomorrow. So everybody, put your pajamas on inside out. Put all your Pokemon clothes on when you go to bed. Hug your Pikachu as you go to sleep tonight. And pray. Pray, my friends, because tomorrow morning we're going to learn all about Pokemon on the Switch, Snap 2. We're going to know about Pokemon Go integration. So join me.
See, all you gotta do is say something that she's passionate about, and she goes crazy. I love it.
Okay, Adrian. Yeah. What is the one thing you want to see tomorrow? First thing in the morning. If you could have anything from the last 2 days show up, and you get to ask all the questions and see all the things, what would it be?
Totino's pizza roll.
He knows where his bread's buttered. I'll tell him
All
that.
right. That was. I'm gonna have to agree with you. The Last of Us 2, but only because I know that Cyberpunk 2077 is still a ways away. Yeah. I'm so excited though about what they showed us, and that certainly is going to be something that'll keep me thirsty for a while.
Did you just not mention Beyond Good and Evil 2?
They're canceling it. You didn't show it enough love.
I'm excited for Beyond Good and Evil 2. I slaved all my passion away to Beyond Good and Evil 2 for the last 6 years. I'm going to contribute content to Beyond Good and Evil 2. I want to create my own radio station. And I don't care about, you can have it for free. I don't even need to be paid for all that stuff and drama that's going out there because I wanted to talk about that a little bit too.
What we should do is we should bring Joseph Gordon-Levitt in tomorrow. That's
only if I get Elijah Wood.
Okay.
I want him. I want
Actually,
Frodo
I'm
right
not gonna
here.
lie. I'm really thrown. I'm really thrown back by the Jade reveal, and I don't understand, and I'm confused. But it's a good thing. I'm going through the stages of Beyond Good and Evil 2. Vaporware, not vaporware. It exists. What the hell are you doing?
Broken him too.
There you go. You guys, it's been a great 2 days. Thank you so much. I want to thank everyone who tuned in over the last few days, all the co-streamers, of course, all the sponsors that helped make this possible, including Totino's Pizza Rolls. Thank you so much. And you, thank you. I know many of you sat here for several days, even when we were offline, watched the rerun. Thank everyone. Thank you so much. It has been absolutely a delight, and we are excited to bring you 3 more days of coverage right here from downtown Los Angeles for E3 on Twitch. You ready? We done? We ready to close the show?
We're good.
Wave goodbye. We'll see you tomorrow here on Twitch.
I missed you guys.
Totino's Pizza Rolls.
Okay, turn here! Turn here!